Welcome back to the Workbench, where uncut and unedited, I try to make things. What I'm trying to make right now is a Wacky Races diorama, and we're actually working on the compact Pussycat, Penelope Pitstop's car. And we've got, I think, the interior completed. I think we've got it totally finished up here. She's painted. Let's see if I can get you a better look here. Hopefully you can see in there too. We've got her eyes done, her eyes all painted up, her goggles painted up. She's sitting in the chair. She glued in place, and then we got the umbrella done also. And I actually love the colors of the umbrella. I think they work well, and it's glued in place there also. But now we need to work on the body of the car. So I'm just going to bring it over here. So where we're at so far, let me, I guess, bring everybody kind of up to date where we're at with the body of the compact Pussycat. And if you need to get caught up, check the description down below. There's actually a playlist down there. You can get caught up on the full build. In fact, the entire Mean Machine build, and now into Penelope Pitstop's compact Pussycat. But anyways, just a quick recap. We had to do some body work on the front and back. You can see here in the instructions there were actually some bump ups here where some screw downs went to hold this together, because it's just a Loctite or a snap tight model that we're actually kind of turning into I guess more of a I don't know, do we call it an art piece? I don't know if I want to go that far, but a little more than just a kid's play toy. But we body worked those off. Basically, I just used some styrene on the backside, and we shaved them down and then filled them. And we've got the paint started. So I've got the pink laid down. I got this yellow laid in, but now we need to do this fender yellow. I need to get this fender back pink. Basically, well, let me show you this side. These scallop parts are the darker pink. So we've got them taped off on this side. And I just need to spray the pink back there. And then there's some black, like the eyelashes and whatnot, that needs to be taken care of. And then that'll have the bodywork done, and we can actually, as you've seen in some of the thumbnails I've been doing, we can get the interior in, and that's going to look pretty. It's going to look pretty good. I think it's going to look just as good as the Mean Machine came out once we've got this done. But what we need to work on now, let me move this out of the way before I destroy it. Let's set it over to the side. We need to finish taping this up, and I think that's what we're going to try to do today. Let me grab some of my tape. I've got my yellow 3M, my green 3M here. I think what we'll start with is taping up these scallops, which I've done before, but I'll do it again for those who haven't seen. This actually, well, let me take that off too while I'm at it. It kind of startled me. Let me go ahead and just do this real quick. For those of you that didn't see it before, it's pretty simple. Basically, just put the tape down over what's already painted. So I've already painted the darker pink. I just need to now either paint yellow or paint the lighter colored pink back around it. And what I'm doing right now is just using my fingernail. Hopefully you guys can kind of see. I'm just using my fingernail to kind of rub that in around the scallop. So the scallops themselves are raised. So I can kind of push the tape down around the scallops here as best I can. Let me move this out of the way. It's kind of banging around there. Let's move it, and then just see if we can get that fully kind of pushed in. And what that does is going to help me to see where I need to cut this tape. Because now what I can do is take my X-Acto, which has a relatively new blade on it. I probably should put a brand new blade on it, but I think this one should be okay. And I'm gonna go right into the corner there, and then I'm just gonna let the blade do the cutting, and then pull along the edge, just ride it along the edge of the scallop. Just like so. And just starting in the corner, and then riding along. That might have gone a little too wide. We'll see how that turns out. But that's the whole point, is you got to try to just let which one did I just cut? That one. You got to let the blade just do the cutting, because it will, if you start really pulling, it'll run on you. And then you can have a real problem. Right there. And then it should be the last one coming down that way, and I'll just kind of slice it off the rest of the way there like so. And then of course I want to pull this top off and we'll see what we've got. We have to clean it up a little bit. Yeah, so now we've got a pretty good start. That's a pretty good start for that actually. Let me just try to just clean some of this up, just like so. Right here. There, it just kind of folded back, and then there we go. That's actually, I think, going to work pretty well for us. That'll be okay. And I think on the other ones, yeah, I just kind of folded it under, so that's what I'll do here also. I'll do this other one here in just a bit, but what I wanted to do now, let's bring the picture over so we can kind of see what we're working with here, or what we're trying to get to, what our final product needs to be, and that's this yellow fender. Yeah, we need to, and it's kind of hard to tell really what's going on, but I think basically what I think I want to do is just tape right up the body line like so, and then the color finishes in here. So I'll try to go right up the body line and then angle off right on, across the running board. Like, let's see, it goes, yeah, it actually finishes up not too far behind the pink scallop, so probably just right back in there. So what I think we'll do to get that to happen, I'm going to use this is yellow 3M tape here. What I'll do is I'll cut it down. So I'll pull a nice long piece like so. Set that aside. And then I'm going to cut it down, something thinner that I can work with a little easier, be able to manipulate a little easier. And I'm just going to pull a line like so. And I'm not worried about, I try to make that as straight as I can, but I'm not too worried about it because I'm going to use this factory cut side. I'm going to use this side of the tape as my mask side, I guess you would say. And then let's see if we can kind of just pull this. If I can get it stuck maybe right there, I can pull it around this way like so. Yeah, like that. And then now here's the question part is how does this yellow go? Let me bring that, I mean, you can't, who knows? Okay, so it's whatever. I think we're just going to kind of do what we want here. Is there another picture? No, unfortunately, we've got the exact same picture on the side of the box, so that's not very helpful either. I printed out some pictures. Let me see. I think that's the only one I have. Yeah, I think it's the only thing I have. I think we'll just do what we want, essentially. And what that's going to be is I'm going to pull it about, I want it to be a nice smooth arc. I don't want it to be jagged by any means. So something like that, maybe. I think something like that. I mean, it looks like to me that's where it comes out. It's kind of just behind the scallops there. Now what we need to do, you can see we're not exactly laid down behind this body line here. So let's see if we can work this in a little bit. And a lot of times what I'll do, I have here it is. Let me grab, I have a squeegee too, but it's covered in body filler, so we don't want to use that. So what I've been doing is using the edge of this plastic, whatever you call this, ruler, to try to get it to be nice and stuck, because the last thing I really want is have to deal with bleed through. And sometimes you do, and it's not a big deal. We can, you can always fix stuff. Let me make sure I want to make sure this side wraps right around the edge of this, right around the edge of that fender, just like that, okay? And then again, I'll use, yeah, I think that's gonna be pretty good. Yeah, nice, okay. And then let me just make sure that that's stuck in here like this. Yeah, okay. Now, what I'll have to do is the same thing again. Now, this time what I'm going to do is cut my tape, obviously on this side here. The hard part is to do the exact same thing again. Now, with this, gotta keep in mind, now my factory cut side is over here, so I want to use that for my masking side, like so. And I'm just going to kind of do the same thing. I'm just going to kind of hit right here. And then we'll go either way from the center. Like so. That's that one. And now I want to try to get the same. Oh, you know what? I probably should probably have taped that first, but that's okay. I think we'll be all right. So kind of just the way I did it this last time, I just kind of ran it, and I just want to have that same gap there at the end, which is about right. Probably look at it this way. Man, that looks real close. It's kind of even with the back side of that. It's kind of even. That's pretty close. It's pretty close. I don't think. Now keep in mind, we're only going to really see one side of this anyways once the diorama is done. So it doesn't have to be perfect because you're not going to see both sides at the same time, if that makes sense. You know what I mean? We're going to just really see this side sitting on the diorama. That side would be a little bit harder to see just due to how the diorama is going to be built. You know, actually, we're going to have the mean machine over there kind of in the way. So I think that's definitely going to be, actually, I think it's pretty close. I think it's pretty good. So that's got that. Let me just make sure we're nice and stuck. This one's stuck a lot easier. I guess the second one you do always goes smoother, doesn't it? You know, you kind of know what you're doing. That looks pretty good. Okay, well, since we're here, let's go ahead and, I'm going to do my tape. Let's go ahead and do this last scallop, and then we'll have, I think we'll have it all taped, all the taping we need to do to actually do our, we'll have to finish taping off. We'll have all the detailed taping what we have to do to get paint laid on this. So let me go ahead, let's just do this real quick while we're together. This is supposed to be uncut and unedited, so I like to try to do as much as I can with you guys so you can see the full process, or at least, you know, my full process. Now, keep in mind, there's probably better processes out there. There's probably better ways to do all this stuff. If you have, by the way, if you have better ways to do the things you see here, please let us know. When I say us, I mean not only me, but everybody that's watching this video. Let us know down in the comment section, hey, man, there's a way better way to do this. Try doing it, you know, this other certain way. And I would definitely be willing, I'm always willing to learn from others and give it a try. And I can give it a try, you know, here on camera, and we can all see how it works out too. Let me just carefully do this real quick. I do kind of want to concentrate just a little bit here. Make sure we get this. All right, come on. Okay. And up and around. So, and then one more. I try to anchor a finger somewhere so that I have some support. So it makes it a little easier to not lose control of the knife. Okay, let's see. I'm going to pull this side off carefully because I don't want to pull my yellow tape. Yeah, there we go. Uh-oh. Yep, that's not going well. Let's try coming from this side and see if we can get that left behind. Okay. Okay. Let me throw this out of the way. Now, let's see what we can do here. I need to remove that a little bit, I think. In fact, I can just fold it over, I think. Like that, because I don't want to, I need to paint. I mean, that all needs to be yellow, so I don't want to have tape in the way. This ripped right here. I don't know if you guys can see that. I probably should move center frame there. It ripped right here. So what I might do is just try to clean this up just a little bit like that. And then I might just try to grab, if I can grab a piece of tape and just catch the corner or something there just to hold that, whoops, just to hold that down like so. And now let's fold that over. Okay, good. I can probably, again, just use a fingernail to try to kind of pull that up against the scallops. And I think it's going to turn out pretty good. Again, this is the back side anyways, but still want it to look good too, along with this side here. Okay, and that's got, I think that's got all our detailed taping done, right? So we just need the yellow. I will, and I think I'll probably just do it by hand. I will paint the insides of this. Well, maybe I won't. I might tape it off. I don't know. I'll decide how I want to do it. But I need to do the inside of the fender wells red. Because, you know, I mean, the tub of the chassis tub, whatever we're calling this, is also red. All that on the inside there looks like it's supposed to be red. So that's kind of what we're doing with that. But I'll do that afterwards. And I'll probably just kind of just paint right in the fender wells. There's nothing else. These need to be painted. I've got them here. They've got the bodywork done. That's the wrong one. These actually go right in here like so, but they'll just be painted the yellow. So I think really all we need to do, trying to think how I want to do this. I might paint the pink first. And if I'm going to paint the pink first, what I'll do, I bet the easiest way to do this, I've got some paper here. Is I'll just kind of wrap. Now you have to be a little bit careful because you don't want to put a hard, like, even though I'm painting pink on pink, if I can put a hard line there and you'll see it. So when I use an airbrush, when I airbrush it, I'm going to have to, basically I'm just trying to get rid of this darker pink here, and then there's actually a speck right there that needs to be fixed. But I'll probably just hold it like this, spray this way so that I don't want to spray this way. I don't want to get a hard line right here or spray underneath, of course, but I think I'm just going to spray that way. This side, yeah, about right like that will work. In fact, I can probably just throw a piece of tape. I don't really want to tape it on there. In other words, I don't want to necessarily tape the paper to the car right now because I don't want to mess up any of the tape already on there. But I also don't want, see there, see my yellow window frame is starting to show. I don't want that to get painted. So what I might do, can I pull those? I might just kind of wrap this like so, just to protect that. But the problem is here too, I'm not getting the full. Can I pull that back some? Just like so. Just a super simple kind of paper, and then I'll just control it with the airbrush to paint that. When I come back to do the front, I will actually use tape. I'll tape over the yellow and over everything else because I'm gonna have to get in there and spray. I'm gonna have to spray into that line so that we get a hard line around the fenders. But I think that's got us ready to paint the body. Let me know what you think. It's always a little nervous, you know, when you're spraying taped lines. But I always keep in mind it's just paint. It can always be removed and done again or touched up or whatever. But I'm also going to go ahead and paint these yellow. So I'll get those on my little carousel thing here, whatever you call it, so that they can be sprayed yellow. I'm going to do the pink first, but I'll get that done in between episodes. I might put another coat. I don't think it needs it, actually. I was looking at the lips and the rear bumper. The rear bumper definitely needs it. It's going to need another coat, and it's going to need the pipes painted, isn't it? Yeah, so I might, while I'm doing the pink, I might go ahead and do that. In fact, let me just go ahead and put it on the carousel over here. But I'm going to do that in between episodes. That should have the body, that should get the body fully painted up. So I think when we come back tomorrow, we should be able to assemble the compact Pussycat, I think. I think that's where we're going to be. We've got some bad weather outside right now, but it should be okay. I mean, my spray booth is in the garage, so it should be fine. I've got a little AC unit out there too that pulls the moisture. I basically use it just to pull the moisture out of the air, so that should be fine. So I should be able to get these painted. When we come back tomorrow, we'll assemble. Let me know what you think down in the comments section. Hit that like button. It really helps. You know, if you enjoy this, especially if you've watched to this point, go ahead and hit the like button. It really does help in the YouTube algorithms. The comments really help. Like and subscribe. I don't know. Whatever it is, all those things you do on YouTube, do that, and I'll see you tomorrow. Bye-bye.